Welcome, my lovely dears, to another fantabulous session in the Western Chivalrics, if only just barely. For this is not the same game. We're not the same people. Indeed, those same people will not come until a year, I believe, after the events of this game. For this game is based in Hollisher, the city of rogues. And we have an interesting assortment of rogues and otherwise talented ne'er-do-wells. And this is a session 0, an opportunity to introduce those characters, find out how in which ways you might be associated with each other, things that have gone wrong and things that have gone right. I'm also going to be recording things in the background, like people that you might know, that you have a vested interest in. Essentially help me build out Hollisher. At the same time, speaking of the place itself, Hollisher. It is essentially a metropolis. There are 37,000-ish people here. The majority of humans, and some other spreads, some elves, tieflings, a few fey-touched individuals. And each of the locations in this metropolis has at least somewhere that you can say you know of, or know exists, or make tests about. Everything I've put in here is common knowledge. Like, if you asked a person about a place, they might be able to tell you about one of these people. If they can't, then when you explain it to them, then they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard of that. Sure. Like, these are super common, notable places. Big for a town, small for a city. No, I think 37,000 is full city size. It's full fantasy city size at the very least. A modern city lives on top of itself a lot more. Like
True.
a modern city is like 4 times the population in only like half as much the extra landmass. Some ridiculous amount. As far as is concerned, the scale of this place is metropolitan. Here indeed. Of a city map for all to see. It is a large city, and there are 10 little enclosures on the outside. They've got small farms, little villages, but those aren't important to you. There are internal villages to this 3-ringed structure. On the outside, you got the poorer folk, and also the not poor folk. On the outside structure, you also have where traders come through, and they tend to gentrify wherever they make their most common trades from, on the way into the inner rings of the city. The very central section being your noblesse, your fantasy noble houses, the Varai, the Masons, and the Wessex. They're like the big 3 families out of Hollisher, and they generally have a say in how everything goes because they're the richest, which means they have the most guards that they literally own.
Understandable.
Yeah. Might makes right, and money makes people very, very mighty.
Indeed.
Now then, all of you, as we will go across and introduce all of you across the side, all of you have lived here for some period of time. We're probably going to operate with that assumption. Whether you've been here your whole lives is a different matter, but you probably would have been here for a couple of years at best. Or sorry, at the least.
Yeah.
So there are people in this city you have connections to, essentially. It's just so that you can't just be like, I am not interested. I don't have a connection to Hollisher because I've just turned up here to fuck about. No, no bueno. So we'll be figuring that out as we go. So first of all their characters. Go from left to right as I have you down here. Savin, who dis?
This is Amiré Lafayette. Definitely not a fake name at all. A perfectly normal half-elf looking lass with extremely dark hair, unnaturally dark, one might say, and unnaturally pale skin and bloodshot eyes so red that, well, it might just be full of blood, honestly. Hard to tell. Maybe she's got a drug problem.
Could well be. It might explain why you're, applying products to your hair at the very least, so it doesn't fall out.
Exactly. So yeah, just a tweaker.
Yep. A really beautiful tweaker, though.
Yeah, she is indeed quite pretty. Very smoochable.
Magic drugs make you hot.
Yeah, hook me up some of them.
Is
I'm
this
okay
the
with having
Amiré?
monstrously... Yeah, this is the Amxal.
Okay, yeah. Mhm.
Hook me up.
Yeah, hook me up to the wizard drugs, Bobby. Alright, and what is your class?
Amiré is, as ever, a rogue. Arcane Trickster.
Ooh.
Hasn't
Yeah.
quite split off into full wizardry, but she's getting there.
We have a
And-
couple of tricks hither and thither. And what skills are you trained in? I see a pretty good long list. It is very typically Arcane Trickster.
Yep, she is spec and expertise into Arcana and Investigation. And, has some social skills on the side. And for those of you who know Amiré a little more from her previous life in Torchlight, she was at one point a nun of Wayland, so she is trained in religion and can do a little Waylandite magic here and there. Oh no, I've broken my spell sheet. Piece
You
of
appear
shit.
to
roll
have-
for me.
Isn't this game at the
Ooh.
same time as Torchlight?
It's a little bit
A
before,
year earlier.
so she has not quite gone
Okay.
back home yet.
Yeah, she has not returned to Torchlight yet. Yeah, you have a little bit of cure.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Amare's return to Torchlight is... I think like a year after Holosher ends. Can't remember.
It's pretty
Yeah.
shortly
Oh.
after this campaign ends, because Torchlight also takes place, like, around a year before.
A year before Shiv.
So she's passing through here on her way back home,
Mm-hmm.
but is dead ass out of
Excellent.
money, so needs to
Yeah,
raise the funds to make the journey across the entire continent.
indeed. And there are probably useful tools that you could use here for all of that other shit.
Yeah.
Like you know of your old hometown, such as it is, as being a haunted shit show.
Yeah, so probably wants to learn a little bit more about fighting and wizardry before she goes to the haunted shithole.
Yeah. All righty. And we move along. Who are you? You in the red.
This is Red, a rather nondescript person in the City of Thieves, looking mostly like anyone else within the town. She wears a long red cloak and keeps her hood up most often. Beneath the hood is a relatively pretty face, full red lips, long auburn red hair, and some jade green eyes. She's covered in leathers and pouches and has tools aplenty. Has a relatively moderate sized bum and a chest that appears a little bit bigger than it would on anyone else, if only for her short stature. And
She thicker than a snicker?
not particularly, but because she's only 5'4" and has a relatively large, yeah. So like a chest looks way bigger on her than it would on somebody else.
Fair enough. Little woman lip. Alright. What your class? What you do?
She is a Psi warrior fighter.
Now, this is one of very rare occasions we've even had a psionic character in one of these games, so what does that even do?
All right, so psionics do a couple things. I can use a reaction and a side eye to do this, to reduce damage.
Oh yeah.
I can
yes.
use
Raise a psionic flell.
what?
I'm
No, it
a
says
big-
psionic field.
It says,
there.
definitely says psionic field. but
Yeah,
you
it's
just
field.
have a
It's correctly
strong-
spelled there, Savin.
That's a capital I then.
No,
Oh,
it isn't.
No,
There's
What?
a dot on it.
lowercase.
What?
Yes.
There's a dot on it, Savin.
No, there is
Yeah.
not on my screen. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm taking a screenshot. I want you guys to see this shit.
Yes, please, because
Do it.
It's right on
Yeah,
everybody
but
Look,
see the
else's.
space
I even straight copy pasted it, so the text is there.
I want to see
Have
the
you like
screenshot.
maybe resized your text box so
No.
the kerning
Yeah, you
is
might
all
have
wrong?
resized it.
No, I have not.
Oh, it is.
That definitely looks like Fled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
It's
like
right
on
on
mine.
everybody else's.
Wild. What is wrong with
Uh,
my roll 20?
Yeah, I don't know. I can
Roll
also
20.
use the Psi-Knight die to do more damage on one attack per turn. These are bad
Nice.
rolls, but showing them off.
Yep, just you get none of them shit rolls out during session 0. It's the time to do it.
Mm-hmm. And I can move objects using my mind every little once in a while,
All right.
using
once for
telekinetic
free,
movements.
right?
All right. I appreciate your Jedi.
Yeah. Skills wise, I'm pretty good at all the dexterous things: acrobatics, thieves' tools, stealth, sleight of hand. I'm pretty good at deception and intimidation and investigation. A little bit performance, a little bit persuasion. As you do as a professional heister,
Yeah.
because that is what she is here. That is her job in this whole thing. She is a professional.
Yeah. And
How
what are you
small
in
did
it
you
for?
say she was again?
Savings here for EXP and money. What are you here for?
Gaining money, keeping up the lifestyle here in the city, paying off the wife's debts.
Ah, of course. She is a drinker and a gambler. It is true.
Yep.
And what was your question, Pets?
How small is she again?
5'4".
Ah, okay, not that small.
Yeah,
I
perfectly
see that
average
she is
woman
also
size,
slightly
actually.
tamed. Let me just put an N in there for you.
No, we just put in at the same time.
And
She was slightly tamed. Now
She is
she's
now slightly
tanned.
tanned.
Okay. Spooky dookie. Then next across the list is an interesting individual. One of these folks is not like the other. One of these folks is caked.
One of these folks is caked. We have Feargus Threebog here. Is a Warforged and was around 5 foot. He's also incredibly pale on account of being made of porcelain.
I was gonna say on account of the ceramic, yeah.
Yeah, on account of being made of like actual
He's
white
supremely
material.
pale. He's like, in fact, I
Yeah.
believe there's a phrase for it in makeup. It's called China White.
Yep.
I don't believe you can get tanned. Well, I guess you can tan like
haven't tried
your
hard.
plates
You
if
could,
you like
I could
paint
get
it.
hit. I could get hit by a fireball and be charred black.
well, hold on. You can't do blackface anymore. That's not okay.
That's not okay. No.
He's got pretty blue sapphires for eyes. Whether or not they were actually a part of his original design or added later, who knows? But he is a barbarian, a beast barbarian, and he is.
Oh, it's on the list. Don't you worry.
Countdown. Oh no.
I have a DM list of things, and the only thing I've added it to it so far is steal his eyes.
Yeah, I mean they're sapphires.
That's
Take
when
that shit, man.
that's when you find out they're actually plastic.
Oh no.
I mean, steal that fucking plastics. Holy shit!
Plastics in this day and age, localized here in Hollister.
Microplastics.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
That
no.
is like my only GM note currently for
Still
events and
very
connections.
But yeah, he is a former circus musician and general circus cryptid. Arrived some time ago. He's been here for a while now, though. At some point on or off. He is a Warforged ostensibly designed to kick people's faces in, but has gravitated towards also making people laugh and to general hilarity ensues type things. He is trained in. He is a musician. He's
I love that. I
trained.
can see that you've got the fucking the core 3 for
Yep,
Cryptid Monkey Man.
he is trained in the cymbals, the drums, and the accordion.
You can do the marching band. I've got the shoes as well with the thumper on it.
He I'm trained in athletics, intimidation, performance, sleight of hand, and stealth. And because of the brand new Barbarian features, when I'm raging, I get better at stealth. So that's pretty great. And also intimidation. And I took weapon mastery in the hand axe, the trident, and the hand crossbow.
But you get 3.
Yeah. Barbarian.
Barbo.
Wait, are we
And-
both hand crossbow like builds?
No, I am
Just
very
having
much
fun in
the trident and hand axe focused,
Okay.
but I have the hand crossbow built into my arm from the Warforged class features or
Okay.
racial
The racial
features.
feature, yeah.
So and it
You have a
has
gun.
it has Vex, so I have he can shoot arrows out of his hand or bolts
Which is
out of his.
supremely useful, yeah.
Yeah, which is really useful because it gets like counts as a hidden, like it's easy to hide.
Yep.
And he has the actor feat. Like I hate to reveal this before it happens, but if
You don't
any
have to
of
reveal it.
you deign to so much as talk for at least a minute in front of me, I can perfectly impersonate your voice and mannerisms.
Is it really only a minute? It feels like you need more than a minute for
Nope.
that.
I just need a minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you can
not
only,
permanent.
but you
yeah,
can only
it's
do it
not
for an
permanent.
hour. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
correct. That's the
Yeah,
reason
I can
why
do
it's
it for.
Alright,
I
alright.
need to do a DC 15 performance check in order to keep it up per
Mhm.
hour, but I can attempt it after
Yeah.
hearing you for at least a minute.
And so you are not.
And technically,
attempting,
it
so you
doesn't
do
have
not
to
get the
be
voice
you. It
for-
could be more
Yeah, it could be
useful
anyone.
people.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
It's not just exclusively used to troll people.
And I also do, and also like I have advantage on disguising myself as other people, and am proficient with the disguise kit, so I can make disguises.
Yeah, no, none of the wizards do crime. People look at these people. They look at these fucking wizards and fucking elementals and these fucking fae, and
Yeah.
they keep a goddamn close eye on every single
Yeah,
last one of them.
They are famous.
They say
they ain't
they're
us.
Booming
notable to
Blade
the
is
point.
not going to be.
Yeah, it literally says that they are notable to the point that everyone in the city knows them. So if you start
Yeah.
doing magic, people gonna go, "Oh, is that so? It must be witches then, because it's definitely not, the older man who has a tower." So, what would you say is your thing? What are you in it for? What are you working on?
In it for money,
Hell yeah!
and also one more thing in quotes that is on my bonds and that people might find out by talking to him.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you keep that one on the DL. Alrighty. You covered that you are a barbarian and what you're doing, who you is. We
Yeah.
move across another one.
Yeah.
Pets who des.
All right. This is Ross. He is a ranger, a Gloomstalker even. No companion this time.
Excellent.
Let's see.
I love it.
yeah,
Compared to all these weirdos, Ross is so like perfectly normal.
Look,
Like,
for
Yeah.
all sure, this is pretty fucking normal. It's just a tweaker.
Amiré, sorry? Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure like this is normal.
Mademoiselle Lafayette
Blood red eyes.
with the blood red
It's
eyes.
just a
He's got
tweaker.
handsome dude.
She's just a
You-
tweaker.
Yeah,
Like, this is
just
pretty
freak-
normal. This is pretty normal. They're pretty normal. That's just it. Just skews everything else.
I guess it's because Ross comes after Threepwood here.
Like if you were to imagine it, like right. So this is like going down for normal. This is going up for weirdness. This is like one down. This is like one down. This is one down. This is like 5 up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's just my perspective has been majorly thrown by the Fairberg episode. I'm never going to say his name
Anyway.
right, just so you're aware. I'm just going to be smashing those together, all 4 of those syllables every time, just randomly.
It's exactly what
Anyway.
Garde wants.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Ronce.
France. Anyway, yeah, he's the muscle, which I assume we don't have much of otherwise in this party aside from the barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got a dex fighter and 2 rogues, so yeah, the barbarian and the ranger has to step up. So I did.
You're a lift ranger, correct?
Strong.
Yeah,
I'll have you know
High
I'm a
strength-
frontline rogue.
Oh boy.
cool. I think that's still dex though, right?
That's pretty strong.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
I got
what
high
are you gonna
strength.
walk
Hell
out of
yeah.
what's your fucking games, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, high strength, high wisdom, still good dex, like still cool. Because
Yeah.
apparently the dual wielder feat said +1 dex or strength, that I couldn't put it in constitution. Oh well. Which, yeah, 2-weapon fighter.
Hell yeah. True
Nice.
weapon fighter, thick build, strength ranger.
Yep. Battle
Should be
axe
interesting.
and scimitar. For them
It's
trips.
it is a build that commands some fucking
Respect.
some goddamn respect.
We'll see which 2-weapon fighter build works better then, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
big dice.
So yeah, what are you here for? What do you care about?
Let's see. Yeah.
What makes you tick?
Yeah, I think he's just he's just looking to get out. He needs money to get out of the city.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
Are you in
Buy a
bad with
house
someone,
somewhere
or
not
are you
here.
just looking for travel cash?
Just travel cash, I think, and then maybe possibly enough to buy a house with.
Okay, yeah,
Somewhere
that makes
else.
sense. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, when we slide across.
Maybe he's in. Maybe he's in. Now suddenly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe he's over in our other game now. We don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like if you wanted to leave one incredibly busy, like menacing town of crime, you don't want to go to the cursed shithole of Torchlight, though.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not a step up for
Probably
you.
not.
that's
That was
not a
probably
step up.
not where you went. You probably went to like First Branch, where they have like a real prison and like nice houses and a bunny mayor. Like,
Fair enough.
or the trading city of Cornwall, where everyone lives by the river and fishes.
I only
Probably
said that
didn't-
because
probably
Amiré
didn't go
here.
probably didn't go to Haunted Land.
You probably didn't go to the haunted shitland that has like nothing.
Yeah, cursed wasteland.
But the housing is cheap.
The housing is knocked over at this
Yeah,
point
it's
in
knocked
time.
over. There is no housing. I don't know what you want there.
At this point in time,
Bro.
people are still trying to escape Torchlight. You'd
They're
be running
trying to
you'd
leave.
be walking opposite them on the fucking road in. Oh,
That's fair. That's fair. Well, anyway, okay.
all right.
Moving on.
Stray, hear this.
This is this man will be slightly familiar to the party. Maybe even more familiar to Red, giving her wife's proclivities, because he is both a drinking and a gambling man, and has been working locally as in mostly merc work and killing people in duels. This is Estevan Van Bruin III, also known as Dr. Hauser, also known as Ichabod Sticky Icky Fleshman, also known as Emilio Estevez Esteves, also known as Mr. Non-Judgmental. The list could go on. The thing is,
I'm at 1 second. I'm adding my second set of my second line to GM notes. One of his fake names comes back to haunt him. You are so gonna accidentally rob yourself at some point.
the thing is that to those he works for, he's never been able to get rid of the twang. So originally they called him Northman, and then eventually it just became Northie. If you begin to forget his name, just call him by that. Although he prefers Tito Nagasaki.
It's my old friend, Pants Headbag. Like, yeah, good to see you, old chum.
And as for my character class, I am a swashbuckler.
You buckle swashes?
I buckle all the swashes, yes. And I'm in it for gold. I mean, what else is there?
Pay off your endless gambling debt.
Listen. I'll have you know I'm a great gambler. I'm just bad at math and logic.
Yeah, bad at the other parts that go with it. That's fine. Yeah, how's your chandelier game?
Oh, I actually have expertise in acrobatics, so it's very good.
All right, excellent.
Nice.
All right.
I
you know,
took ex-
having no swashbuckler can be without like really strong chandelier game.
I took expertise in acrobatics and deception for these very reasons.
Exactly. I feel like Stray's character is the only mark that Red's wife has ever succeeded in fucking winning cards against.
Oh, absolutely.
I decided to make my flaw gambling too, just because of the cards.
Oh, I love it. All right. Next note on this.
There we go.
That's come to call. Bung that one in there.
What do you mean? I don't have any debtors. They're all dead. I will.
But their family, though.
I will direct you to my third flaw.
All right, let's have a look here.
How can your mom let you have 3 flaws?
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. They've probably, you know what? There's also you probably do have debtors. Most of them won't tell you that you're a debtor though, because they don't want to get stabbed at all.
It's fine. I forgot I owed them money after all the drinking.
It's true. It's true. Okay, perfect. Now that we know these things about your characters, I would like to direct you to Heat, Reputation, and Guard Presence, these 3 lovely tokens here at the bottom, whose bars should be set to visible. It looks like they is. You can see even numbies in them.
Only one of them is.
No, the other 2 are visible. They're just empty.
They're just a 0
Oh, I
10.
see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Only
I
one of
see.
them has a
Yeah, they
name that we can see, and it's
it
off
has a
center
plate.
too.
No curfew.
What?
Yeah.
I can't see any names.
Hover your token
over no
over it.
curfew.
Oh,
Your
right.
mouse.
Oh, there it goes. Guard Presence is the only one with a hover over.
Yeah.
There
There is
we
currently no
Okay.
curfew in
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
All right, we're all sorted. My apologies.
I was
Apparently
always
have
wondering
the
what those were
C
for.
ticked.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see Heat there on the left is a rising scale of 0 to 10. As you guys do stuff, you will gain heat, and heat will be modified based on how your jobs go. If you use magic, that's a modifier. If you have a cryptid, that's a modifier.
So do we start at 1 heat naturally because of the cryptid?
We
Your
haven't
first
done
job
anything
is,
yet.
Yeah, you haven't done anything yet. But
The cryptid's in a
almost
box. It's
certainly-
fine.
Yeah.
Alright,
Almost
fair enough.
certainly you will gain heat relatively quickly. It's anything. It's you know when you play one of those like against the cards board games where you're playing against the board and it pulls cards on you. You're just playing with that like tracker already 1 step ahead. It's fine. You'll be okay. You get to draw so many action cards.
Oh god.
To the right of that is your reputation. As in, if you do a good job or a bad job, if there are people who you piss off along the way, good or bad, your reputation will be impacted. Reputation can go into negative numbers. I will add a second bar if that is what ends up happening. Reputation is affected by a multiplier of your heat. So as well, the longer you go in the campaign generating heat, if you do a good job and you've got lots of heat on you at the same time, you do get more reputation out of it. So there is a benefit. Like, heat is an extra score, essentially, for playing in hard mode. And then last of all,
I like it.
Nifty.
yeah, reputation as well will also dictate like how much you get offered in money for taking on jobs. Or if people will bring weird shit to you
Yeah.
instead of like relatively basic starter jobs. Like eventually you'll hit enough rep to get the weird shit anyway, but you know, it can be the fast track to the strange. Now, guard presence. It starts at 2 out of 10. It's unlikely you'll ever get it lower, but you could perform something that like makes guards busy or takes them off of the streets. Like you could do something to reduce their presence below the default. There are guards in the day and guards at night. There is no curfew, but like say you attracted loads of heat and went on a crime spree and just happened to piss off some of the noble families while you were at it, the guard presence would go up and you'd do things like attract a curfew. As you might expect, curfews are made more difficult if you've got a lot of fucking heat. It will modify how you handle the planning phase. Like, all of these 3 bars essentially are the DCs for giving you jobs and fucking with you guys in the planning phase. Like, you're all going to have plans. I'm going to be trying to fuck up those plans at least a bit. I'm going to be creating things that you have to deal with.
Okay.
It's a lot like Fate, I suppose, in that measure. At least that's the plan.
See how it actually goes.
Yeah. Yeah. There isn't really a system in the back end of 5e to also be playing Fate at the same time, but 6e, whatever. I intend to try. Make it work.
Yeah,
I
understandable.
mean, I can pull out my phone, but I won't.
Wrong fate.
Yeah. It actually took me a second, which is a real crying shame for my brain.
What brain?
Thanks.
I'm borrowing the brain cell tonight, bitch.
But I need it. I'm taking notes.
Too bad.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no. Oh well.
So, there will be some operating in the day and operating at night. Amiré, I believe you are attuned to a cloak that is yours and stops you from just like fucking bursting into flames in the day, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wait, you're not playing a Dampier?
No, Amiré was a fully.
Oh, okay.
Full vampire.
She's the one we gave the stake to the friend for.
Yeah, in Shiv, she's
Oh.
she's that
Okay,
spy
I
that you
remember
guys
this
met on the
character,
Crusader
yeah.
Island. Yeah. Post cure. This is
Was-
her pre-cure.
Listen, for a long time, Shivs was all just a nice. It was very nice, but it was also very fuzzy.
There.
That's 3 hours of sleep is great.
I'm glad we get awake straight for this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Hallie didn't need to think that hard.
it's true.
Yeah, it was just method acting.
Yeah.
But now you need all the brain power you can put together for Mr. Crisper. All right. So, as we've said before, Hollish are pretty fucking big. I'm gonna take you guys to the map and whereabouts do you live? Put your token somewhere and give me a story. Spin me a yarn.
Let's see here.
Okay,
Let me
where
just
would
double-check on this. Yeah,
If I was going to be
I-
homeless and wandering,
I live about the Golden Coin Village.
all right?
Oh.
Where would Vizini live? I work for Vizini.
A good question. If you go to a little Hollish tab here, you can see that everywhere has stuff to
Okay.
it.
I'll read it all then.
So,
Alright, yep.
golden coin, you have a fancy magical clock tower. And you have the
Yeah.
gravel road, so you live near a route to an underground town.
Yeah. It's also plenty of flowing coin, lots of gambling in the area. But in fact, me and the wifey met underneath the clock tower one day.
Oh, how wonderful. Was she shithouse drunk?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over to Golden Crown, and I will add your place to it. Home of Red, and several famous gambling towns. Gambling dens. Save changes. Alright. You've chosen a Bright Orb Borough.
I feel like Amiré and her transience was attracted to the Scarlet Tankard, as it has those big, beautiful stained glass windows, and frankly, that just reminds her of home.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Are you staying like above any of those taverns, or do you own somewhere to live in Bright Orb?
She is definitely staying in the Scarlet Tankard itself. Does not own her own place. Is way too poor for that.
Right, lives out of a room in the Scarlet Tankard.
I think she probably, since she is perpetually penniless at this stage in her life, she's probably done a favor or performed a service for a fellow that owns it that's gotten her a place to stay, kind of, not necessarily in perpetuity, but for a while. Maybe one of those, small rooms up in the attic.
Right, I'm adding in a GM note for an idea that I just had. That'll slide away. Perfect. All right. Garde, where do you think you'd go?
I'm thinking. Let's see. I'm thinking probably the where'd it go? Golden Hill Ward.
Sure.
Probably hang out around Fredder's Folly, pretending to be a gargoyle at night.
Amazing.
All right, let's see here. There, pretends to be a gargoyle. Oh no, I suppose it'd be a grotesque.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's it.
Grotesque at night.
No need
Right,
to
a
be
grotesque
hurtful,
is a statue
Jesus.
that's not
On
in
the
a
ground.
yeah, it's on the ground instead of a wall. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, gargoyles are roof-bound only.
This kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't know where the word origin comes from. I'm sure there's actually a really, really interesting Latin root to gargoyle. Because I'm a word nerd.
Let's find
But-
out, shall we?
Possibly Greek.
No.
I
We'll
don't
find out another time.
I'm going to look it up, so you keep going.
Fair
Too
enough.
late, yeah.
All right. Okay.
That is a
excellent.
wild etymology that I would not have expected.
Oh, you got
Oh, it makes sense though. It's from the old French word for throat and the Greek word for to gargle. Because they used to be
of
like
course,
the
mouth
fountains.
up to run water.
Yeah,
Okay, that
that's
makes a lot of sense.
the sound of water passing through the mouths.
So it's essentially they point up and it's like a red going, look at them gargles! Just fucking, well, I guess you're technically correct, Mr. Redneck.
There are also regional variations, such as the Hunky Punk.
The hunky punk. All right, you're definitely the hunky punk of of the folly. Yep, the hunky punk of Fred's folly.
What is a Hunky Punk actually? It's a grotesque carving on the side of a building.
Oh, dope. All right, last up, Stray. Where do you think you would live?
Did Winter already do theirs? Because
No, I
Winter
didn't
just,
talk
you
about
moved
it,
yourself
no.
to one. Yeah. What's your deal here?
Winter
Yeah.
just parked in,
Right.
and I don't want
All right.
White
Something
lamp.
about
I
Brett
saw that. Let's see here. Yes, the ruined tower, blackened stone walls, which appears in the night of the. That's interesting. It's probably attracted his attention.
just because it's weird and strange.
Yeah, then
Right.
and then
Makes sense.
ducks in the hooded gypsy on those rainy nights. Listen for the ghosts.
Of course, of course. Now,
The
do
night
you
hunter.
live in like an apartment, a home, a
He's homeless. He's wandering.
homeless? All right.
Feels very rangery to be homeless.
I mean,
But-
yeah.
Ross
Yeah.
lives.
It's a real
right
chicken and
now.
egg sort of question. Are you
The
homeless
village
because you're a
as
ranger, or a ranger
a
because you're homeless?
professional, and then strike out. Homeless.
Please, he's an urban outdoorsman.
Really is that, yeah.
No. All right.
It's both of these things, you know.
Okay, most excellent. And Stray.
Hang on, I'm trying to find. Winter took my area, so now I'm trying to find the other one.
You
can be
could
there
just live
too.
in the same
No.
You could actually
neighborhood.
just live in it.
You could just live in
We
the
can
same
just
district.
be friends.
You just be like,
Wait, hold on.
"Hey,
You can't
it's
be
that fucking handsome
friends.
hobo."
That's against the rules. You can't know
Yeah,
other
look at
player
that.
characters before the game happens. You
My-
crazy.
No, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Alright.
Obviously, we're gambling buddies.
God, just right. You're all gamblers.
Except Amiré.
Yeah. Apart from
I'm not a
Amiré, yeah.
gambler. I just have to pay off my wife's
You just,
debts.
yeah. You just
Yeah, you're not
contextually obligated to know the gamblers.
Yeah, you're not a gambler. Your wife's a gambler, so you just know everybody anyway.
Because once I saw Haunted Inn, it immediately harkened back to if they offered you 80 hours to clean a cemetery alone, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., are you taking the job? And it's just like, wait, hang on, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to refuse that. I'm going to make sure each of those tombs are spotless with the finest holy water. Annabelle trying to visit her
Hell
friend,
yeah.
aisle 6, row 3, bro. I might be haunted, but I'm leaving each shift in a Bentley with Casper and his homies in the back.
God forbid she ever brings any of you home with her.
Because you know exactly what happens. Yeah, your wife breaks out the alcohol and they all start gambling on the kitchen table.
I shoot some craps.
I work
Yeah.
hard to clean that table and put food on it.
Yeah. And she wants to put cards on it with your homies.
But yeah, I'll just live in the inn and be friends with ghosts. I might be slightly haunted, but it's fine.
All right. So
Slight hauntings are fine.
slide you to Brett. Yeah, cool.
It's fine.
Uh,
Listen, yeah, if I keep everything, if I keep everything in order and I make sure that I don't stumble across, Granny Goldstein's ghostly knitting, I won't get stabbed in the eyes with ghostly knitting needles. It's fine.
it's true.
See, this is why I have fancy footwork. Not because I'm a swashbuckler, but because I'm avoiding ghosts.
Alrighty.
Wait, can I have a ghost cat? I want a ghost cat now.
And there probably
Why
is a
would I
ghost cat that just fucking wanders around the place. In fact, no, it's since it's a large inn, it's probably like the ghost like a bloodhound. Big
Baloo?
old flopsy ears ghost that just sort of chills out by the fire.
Yeah.
I love he.
Everyone love he.
No one told me his name, so I give him a new name every time.
It's true. He answers to all of them, frankly, so it doesn't matter. Or he answers to none of them and
He-
never has, so there's no way to know or tell.
Because he's a dog, he just answers to the tone.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you go, hey buddy.
Yep. Yep, of course. Wonderful. Okay. Now then, let's bring you to your characters' interactions with each other. You all have the same broker. You don't all have the same fixer, but you have the same broker, a person by which, acquires various jobs, spreads them out, grabs people from all over the city. You can have local fixers that you know quite well, and some of you may have the same fixer. That's up to you guys. But you all have the same, overhead broker. Now then, before we move over to that particular scene, would you like to insinuate that any of you do know each other? Do any of you have connections to the same fixer as well? Have you done jobs together? Anything like that?
I don't know if we've done jobs together, but I bet Estevan and Ross share fixer
Fair enough.
from the same area.
Every
Yeah.
session I'm changing my name too. It's gonna be great.
Love it.
Excellent.
That's why
Uh,
that's why I said he does have a slightly northern twang.
Yeah,
So
you
if
have
you
to
need
just
to,
call him
yeah.
Northie.
I like to say that I wouldn't know any of them. I'm usually part of more usually professional heist.
I
That's
mean,
fine.
you probably accidentally know Northie.
I mean,
Given
yeah,
your
I know
wife's
from like
wife's
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
proclivities.
You
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
him professionally. You know him through some mutual friends.
Yeah, you know him as King James James.
yeah. Yeah,
was gonna say, I might-
none of them probably have the same fixer as me. Crow likely doesn't operate in those areas up there.
I
Winter's
was gonna
character.
say.
Winter's
Also,
yeah, good.
character knows me
Ross.
as Chad. My middle name is Quick. I change it for Botruskali.
Garde, what about you?
I was
Any
gonna say, I
association?
doubt I have like a long-term association with anybody, but has probably done at least one job with Northie.
Yeah, I
That
feel like
fucking
everyone.
thing.
You know what? Everyone has done at least one job with Northie, all under different
I
names.
love it.
Okay. Now then, do any of you have or want to have connections with the Thieves Guild? There is a Thieves Guild in this city.
But it's not really
Hmm.
my character's shtick.
I probably should, given that my background is actually like a professional heister. That seems like
Yeah.
I should probably have connections with it.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna add that to the notes. And if you would like to add a contact onto your bio or anywhere,
Okay.
Thieves Guild at Burglar.
Would the Thieves Guild just be like primarily Thieves Guild things, or would like roguish adventurers be a part of that?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Would it be like entirely city contained, or would like roguish adventurers?
It's within the Hollow Show only.
Okay. In that case, probably
I'm thinking.
All right. Here is your contact. The Thieves Guild Cat Burglar Jensen the House Better.
The house.
Jensen,
never bet against the house.
the house.
That's an incredible nickname.
Isn't it
For
just?
someone with that last name.
All right, I have it on my allies and organizations.
All right. Then you also know that there have been recent crackdowns on the Thieves Guild. It's probably why you're taking outside jobs through Crow now. Because the Thieves Guild has a really, really high heat bar of their own right now. The Guard presence hasn't gone up because that would mean admitting that there is a very successful Thieves Guild at the moment. So as far as politics are concerned, they just have high heat, but the city's just kind of under level. They probably, and your contact will staged up on the whole thing, but it's possible to guess that one of the noble families, if not more than one of them, have leverage on whoever runs the Thieves Guild. You don't know this person, don't know who they could possibly be, or peoples, but that's your best assumption. The Thieves Guild right now is under so much scrutiny that they are incapable of moving.
Okay.
On the plus
Like-
side, it's free game for the freelancers.
Yep. I go back to my good old buddy Crow who got me set up in the first place.
Yep. Okay. And with that bit o' knowledge set aside, I'm going to bring you to the Ember Rat. The Ember Rat here is it's a very quaint little tavern filled with an incredibly colourful cast of people. As you can see, I've updated the peasant tokens to be hot, as they should be.
Nice.
Oh no, they're hot.
Oh no, they're hot. The peasants are cute.
Adorable peasants. Yay.
Oh
Ross
no,
has
there's
probably
a
gone to bed
bunch
with
of
at least one of them.
furries.
Keep Rem away
Yeah.
from the mouse girl.
Yeah. Great here yet, but eventually. You guys have made your way here. There's been a little bit of RP on the side. The first ones to arrive are Red and Amiré. They were just in time to watch a disgruntled man deliver a large crate and then dump it at the end of the table and wander off.
Yep. Moving away from that.
Why does he have a box
Uh,
around him now? Oh, that's literally just the
Because
box. I
someone-
see.
So he's in the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what,
box,
fair
yeah. Yeah. That is about perfect, frankly.
Yeah, the box
No,
gets dropped
Ember
off.
Rat.
Amiré just gets as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, Ember Rat is a nice place run by Maho here. Maho has been, just into this business since her old man. It is frequently inhabited by weirats or rat folk. Sometimes they say they're weirats, other times they say they are fae. It's honestly hard to tell. But regardless, the Ember Rat attracts rats.
Nice.
Yep. Now then, this is located in Torch Market. For some of you, that's quite a journey. Regardless, you have been promised quite a large sum of money by your various fixers, and you've all, made your way here. You've also been told to expect other people to turn up to do this job. Like, it's probably going to take a crew of at least 5. So you've got a few minutes amongst yourselves, really, until the broker turns up.
Alright.
Ask me about this place.
Okay.
What?
What is?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
All
I'll
right.
let her
What? So the owners of the joint, are they these two people, and are they associated with any of like the local guilds or crime? Are there crime families for one, or just like crime gangs?
Every family's a crime family if you try
I was
hard
gonna
enough.
say I was gonna say okay, so there are some infamous crime doers for sure, but for the most part, no, they probably don't have that connection. What they do have is a place that's quite quiet, so it's popular for making deals. There are other places to make deals. In fact, there's a tavern infamously where you can only be truthful. But that
Yeah,
is
I
it.
like
That
that
place,
one.
that place is a sucker's game, you see, and it's probably been explained to you guys a number of times. Really, only amateurs make their deals there because when you know that you're being forced to speak, aka the truth, big air quotes, people will try a lot harder to work around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So,
you will get you will likely find a much less honest deal coming to a totally true agreement than you would just wheeling and dealing in a places like this.
Okay, that makes sense.
all right. So you're saying this place is neutral?
Yeah, it's neutral territory for all
How
intents
it-
and purposes.
How is it enforced then?
Neutrality is enforced by fact that if this place were turned over, it would cause a bit of a scuffle. See these weirats here? They would be regulars, and they'd be quite dangerous regulars. And there's no explanation that you've been ever given as to why they're regulars. Mostly because you guys probably haven't been here that often or that much. But yeah, they keep this place neutral by threat of force.
Okay.
They're also probably smugglers.
So it is a crime. There is a crime family. They're just all squeakers.
I guess.
Neutrality is upheld by the heart of a man. He is born with neutrality, or is he not?
What makes
I do
a
not
man
know if
turn
neutrality
neutral?
grows in his heart or not, but it is there and it exists.
What makes a man turn neutral? His lust for power, for gold? Or are you just born with a stone cold heart of neutrality?
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Is just
Yeah, I get you.
is this neutral territory? And if so, how is in a city in a place of scum and villainy? How is that neutrality enforced? And it is enforced by getting shanked many times by rats. Got it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they
Alright.
just happen to be nice folk here. It's really hard to try and put the screws to a place that just does decent business.
I mean, yeah, you say that, but again, scum and villainy.
Scum and villainy. But yeah, you
Not
can see it.
everyone
You
is
can
a
literally
dashing.
see it. It's true. You can see literally here there's just a giant half ogre. He looks like a terrifying lump of meat. He's being perfectly polite to this orcish bartender who's just serving him a drink. It seemed pretty chill around here.
Listen, not everyone is a dashing rogue like myself.
Yeah, some
There
people
are
are
some
shitty.
skeeving rogues too.
Yeah, they do just, I guess, tend to get. Yes, they're unscrupulous individuals. Tend to be filtered gradually out, or at least tend to take a fucking load off by not causing trouble in this place.
Wake outside, up outside the city without no kidneys.
Yep. Turn you into fucking pate, loser. A liver.
So, whose box is that?
Since I've worked with, well, Garde, you don't put your name on anything, so I don't know. I can't remember your character's name.
Oh yeah,
have a name
Garde,
tag.
if you go to the old clog wheel, change your display name so that it says your character name and then your name, so that everyone along the bottom line there can see. X is red, Amxal, Amiré, Savin,
I'll
Northie's
fix mine.
grey. Yep, pets too. If you fix them up, then it'll be a lot easier to remember names. But you should just call him Febby, Three Bog,
Eh.
Woodbug.
My question is, have I seen this character being delivered in this way before? Because when Northie blows in, he's suddenly sitting down with people that he's worked with before. Can't remember what name he gave them though.
That's up to Garde.
Do you talk at any point after you sit down with them?
Obviously, this is a boisterous character, and he's just going to greet everyone by names that he remembers.
The moment Northie starts talking, the box will open up and a cloaked figure will hop out and sit on that chair
Bid draws
Stupid.
a few lecks.
nobody checks box
Oh my
before
god!
Northie shows up.
My god, Dry Gold Slim! Why are you in a box? Who put you in a box?
I put me in a box.
My good man, why
What
did you
else would
put
you
yourself
do?
in a box?
Because people open the box.
Your plan was to jump out and scare people.
No,
So
my
confused.
plan was to jump out and offer them phenomenal cosmic power.
Ah, okay. Everyone, this is Slim. Does good work.
I'll take your word for it.
Feargus looks at his own thighs and wonder where he got that nickname from.
It's definitely ironic, like the giant guy called Tiny. 1 second. Just need to.
Yeah, that guy's name is Tiny.
And shrugs.
Yep.
That's tiny right there. Yep.
Yep. Just. Then.
Yay. Ugh. It's good to be out of box anyway.
I would imagine so. Even though I don't think you need to breathe, still seems cramped. Unless you like that sort of thing.
Yeah, air is nice.
Beast Dwarf
Big
Ninja
Big
Slim.
Slim.
That's powerful. That's great.
Is that like a player character or a character in the game?
That was the party's fixer.
Oh, okay.
That's great.
Oh man, the only way it gets better if like his first name's actually like Jim or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Big Slim Jim.
Yep.
Nice. Please call me James. All right.
So, do any of you know what we've been called here for?
Opportunity to make gold, last checked.
A job
So
of some
no.
kind. No
Well,
specifics
I have a
given.
hunch given my job history, but I'll wait till I've actually heard about it.
Well, given mine and given yours, it could be an eclectic mix of anything.
As though summoned by the statement of "What are we here for?" the door to the Ember Rat swings open, and a woman who looks to be like mid-20s or so, with short hair, wearing the robes of an acolyte, just sort of loosely over a cable-knit sweater and some leather riding pants, will enter. I don't know that any of you have necessarily seen this individual before, but they see you and beeline straight towards your table.
Huh?
Hello there. Ladies, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Do we know her name?
No.
Okay.
Of course. It is a pleasure, I'm very, very sure. She, adjusts her big acolyte coat. You can see that she's got a holy symbol resting around her neck. The very recently formed cult of the setting sun. An old pagan cult. Or new pagan cult, technically.
Huh.
Now, I believe all of you have been invited here by various individuals in order to do a job. A job currently left unidentified, yes?
Something like that.
More or less
Correct.
accurate.
Well then, I would like to make that job for you identified. If you'll excuse me just a second, please head through the northern door and make yourselves comfortable. We'll have a private room, away from prying ears. And she'll turn around and stare daggers at this couple here who'd been paying a little bit too much attention to you guys. Also,
Oh.
what do you drink? I insist, it's on me.
What's it? What's it called?
Red wine.
I already forgot what that atrocious northern drink
Ouzo.
that Hedra talks about. No, that's Greek. Basically,
Gluttony?
like Swedish firewater. I forget what it's called.
Tequila.
Yes, tequila.
Angela Bourbon.
Aquavit.
That's what it's called. Okay,
Ah.
thank you. Yeah.
I enjoy a bourbon, just a simple one of those.
There's no cheap tastes here, I see. I feel bad for Ross there, who appears to have fallen in his chair because their player is AFK. I will give them a second to return.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there
Uh,
you is.
Straight to the north.
Yep, door through
Okay.
the north
Yeah.
there. Go join your companions. What is it that you drink, Mr. Ross?
Whiskey.
Right
Just
you are.
whiskey.
Yeah, very cool. We'll wander up to the table and request that no one come and bother you, and then about 5 minutes later we'll wander in. You've got 5 minutes before the broker wanders in.
Well, since Amiré was the first one in here, she's just going to do a quick scooch around and just see if she senses any magic to the place, anything untoward. As you do.
Ross will lean back in his
make-
chair, put the feet up on the table.
I make
Classic.
a
Like
note
immediate.
of the window.
You detect a faint enchantment on the window, actually.
What'd it do?
When you walk up to the window, you can see that it is dimmer than clear glass should be. It looks like this is a blackout room, as evidenced by the fact as well that the light in here is just plain old darker.
Neat. I like this place.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some of those installed in that stained glass.
Yeah, for real.
All right, since we're all sitting around a table, this is the part where we need to, and we're doing scheming and thrilling. Where's the tobacco?
You
We're
can
gonna-
pull out tobacco.
I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna pull out sadly, I'm not a wizard, so I don't have a Gandalf pipe.
Oh, you just have a modest, normal human pipe.
It's very sad, I know.
How long is the pipe? Like 5 inches? 6?
Ha ha ha!
Here you
Just a
go.
briarwood
Here
pipe.
even is I'll put it in VCT, a classic Swedish smoking pipe with the diagonal line and beautiful wood.
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Very nice.
When he strikes his, he'll offer the lit match to Amir.
She'll lean in and let you light her pipe.
Nice.
Just wick it out.
Alright. And yeah, while you're getting cozy, the broker will wander in and kicks the door closed with a boot, and will, like holding the platter of drinks with one hand, reaches over and drops the latch on the door as well. There, that should keep anyone from coming in who we do not want.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Very well.
So, lay it on us.
Well, let us first see about the drinks. I've got one for myself. You're welcome to check for poisons, all the usual lark, but I assure you there are none. That would be very much a waste of my time, bringing 5 mysterious strangers to this place just to poison them with booze.
Of course.
Sounds believable.
Besides, I'm not aware of any enemies I have. They're still living. Just knock back the akavit.
She will indeed herself be drinking from a shot of aquavit, although she happens to have a long glass of herbal tea next to it.
I've never
Ugh.
had it.
Ross
It just
sniffs
sounds
back
terrible.
his shot of whiskey.
Yes, I see you are a homeland drinker. Ugh, I thought it would get better. Never did.
Never does, never does.
Feargus just blasts himself in the face with a shot.
You get the sense that he is making the ew gross tequila face. Even though his face can't move.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Excellent.
Wait, has Slim's face never moved?
No.
No,
It's the
Feargus
like-
has the passive face that doesn't do expressions, but it's
Yeah,
the
you
gestalt
still
sensation that when you
feel-
look
yep.
at it, yeah, you know what the expression is meant to be. So their face never moves, but you get the ugh from their face out
Yep.
of it.
Yeah, so Red will cross her legs over and bring her arms in that typical like triangle stance under her chin. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Oh,
You defeat the Huns?
I see you're gonna Shinji this setting. No one's gonna tell you to get in the robot. It's fine. The broker smiles. Yes, of course. You see, have a couple of little jobs lined up. I say a couple of little because the completion of them and collection of these particular shards will open a location that is of interest to me. As you might expect, I would rather get one group together and have them run multiple jobs than simply try and get extant different people to try and do so, you know?
Of course.
So, I would like to be hiring you for multiple jobs. 4 in total. 3 acquisition, 1 smash and grab.
So only 4 shards needed then?
3 shards and then 1 smash and grab. The place that will be opened with the 3 shards.
Ah, I understand.
Huh.
As it stands, they might be difficult to acquire, so I do come with a little bit of forepayment and a peace offering for you. A little something to sweeten the deal and tempt you perhaps a little bit further. For the duration of this job, I would like to offer unto you a safe house. She reaches into her coat and pulls out, it looks like 6 envelopes. Here are 6 different safe rooms. I purchased them from the Thieves Guild in sealed letters, so I do not know where any of these locations are. You are going to pick one, memorize the location, take out the key, and then burn it. And I will burn all of these and destroy all of their keys. That way, I cannot know where the safe house is, and it is a fair random chance shot for all of you. Yes?
I'm gonna
Very well.
I'm gonna take one of the letters and flip it around and look for any steam damage to the envelope seal.
Yeah, you can make checks if you have
Investigation or perception?
probably investigation, or
Eh.
you can do it with advantage if you happen to be a calligrapher. Wow, 28.
Well,
Would I have
23, I'm not a
advantage?
calligrapher.
Would I have investigation
23, sorry.
advantage on investigation given that I'm actually part of Thieves Guild and would recognize stuff like this?
You have a lower DC. The advantage still only belongs to having the toolkit for the job.
Okay. Would me have it? Would a forgery kit also give advantage, or does it have to be like?
Yes, forgery is also advantage. Sorry.
Given that I am, no, I don't think I can put in painting. You don't really use heat for that. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not great in investigation. Nope. Oh, sorry. Let me take off global modifiers.
Oh, sure. Okay.
My bad.
So, Amiré, when you lean down and take a look, you can smell the broker's perfume is on all of them. It seems that she was likely the one who sealed them. So it's possible that if she memorized all 5 of these blank envelopes, then she does know one of these safe house locations. She can't honestly guarantee you the complete sacrosanct. She's trying, but there's no way that it's 100% guaranteed. But at the very least, she's likely relying on memory. Red, you find no evidence of the Thieves Guild on the outer envelopes. If there is evidence, it'll be on the key itself in a particular scuff mark that you're aware of. But the key is inside the envelope, so you can't see any scuffs on it.
All right. So payment for the 4 jobs and a safe house during the time that we do them.
Well, that is correct.
And what do you suspect we need a safe house for? What sort of heat are we going to be bringing down on ourselves?
Well, it so happens that each of the noble families owns the shards. I'm not, before you get into it, asking you to break into their mansions. That would be suicide. But they are still businesses in their ownerships, respectively. And so, there could be danger up the chain, and I'm sure some of you have friends and family that you might care about. Or not, but it's not my business, I guess, personally. this would keep you out of everyone's hair, and also nothing can be traced back to me, which I always appreciate.
So 3
Bit
shards
rhapsody.
in businesses associated closely to the 3 families.
So you want
That
us to
is correct.
piss off all 3 of the families that run this town?
Yes.
A bit
So what's the
rhapsody
pay
to the
like?
ex-
Well, I'm offering you 50 up front just to try with the very first location. I believe it belongs to the Varai. And, well, the payout, 1,000 gold pieces each.
You're asking quite a bit here.
I certainly am, but as you might expect, you could certainly acquire juicier things. From the final location, I will let you walk away with, say, even split. So split it 6 ways, as long as I get one thing in particular from it. How does that sound?
And this final location, what is it, a vault or some such?
It is indeed a vault. It is a vault belonging to none of the 3 noble houses, but descendants of theirs. An old location that came into my awareness after I got talking to a particularly drunk ghost.
How
That
much
does an
is
explanation for why me and Slim are here then. I was wondering at first, given that the rest are Lightfoots.
how
Indeed.
While I
aware?
am while I am not adverse to ledger domain, my skills lie more in sticking the pointy end in other people.
You may have to do that.
How
And yes,
a-
Lady Red.
how aware are the 3 noble houses about this so-called vault?
Right now, not at all. Perhaps after a couple of concurrent thieveries, they may make some connections themselves and go looking for some old records. Right now, you have the, advantage of secrecy. I don't believe they know about it, otherwise there is no way they would not have already battled for those shards themselves.
In that case, what are their current reasons for keeping these shards in the first place?
They believe them to be heirlooms. Not very important heirlooms, but bringers of good luck. Put them on the mantelpieces of businesses that you want to succeed. I know at least 2 of them are stored in this way, and one of them is stored in a location. I don't know where in the building. We'll save that one for last. It's possible I could look into it, but that will probably be on you guys as well. Hopefully that is not too difficult for you. These shards look like little bronze plaques. She reaches into her coat and pulls out a piece of paper and something to draw on. Doesn't seem stupid enough to walk around with drawings of the things that she wants stolen on her person. She draws them for you here in front of you. They look like little bronze plaques, about 4 inches across, 2 inches vertical. And there should be writing on it in Braille, blind person talk.
Right. Hey Scow, can
Yeah.
I make like some sort of check to see if like there's any legend about like these keys and vaults given to the Thieves Guild? Like this seems like a rife thing that they
Yeah,
might.
totally. Give me history checks.
Okay. Oh boy,
You're all
history.
welcome to do so. You've all been in Hollisher for a couple of years.
I don't know anything about it.
Hey, why not?
Yep.
14.
You've heard mutterings about an ancient vault that lives below Hollisher.
My rolls are fire
Uh,
today,
Amir,
motherfucker.
man,
wow,
Amir
those are
might know.
crispy sweet rolls. Amiré, you know of an elf who once made like very, very intricate locks. They haven't been employed in a really long time, but they are like statistically rich still, even though they've not done anything. They're like independently wealthy, this lock making elf. That would possibly explain it if there's some like ancient vault from the beginnings of Hollisher.
Do I know where this elf might live?
Yeah, he lives in your district. Has probably come to drink at that tavern a couple of times.
Oh yeah, because there's like a commonly known elf that like does like a key like a lock place on the Hollisher thing, isn't there?
That's a
There
human.
is. That one's a
Oh.
human. It's
Oh,
possible
that's right.
that
That
they
one's
were
a
taught by.
human.
It was possible they were taught by this elf.
Right,
though.
right,
Like,
right.
there are
Peter
definitely
Worker.
roles that could be something worth looking into. The broker looks around. Well, do not leave me in the dark. I am interested to see how much you all know already.
I'm afraid very little about some underground vault.
I can't say I have heard of it.
Neither have I.
It does sound intriguing.
Very well. This vault, supposedly amongst containing enough riches to found a second Holisher, happens to have within it one of the great and legendary cards from the deck of many things, sealed inside the glass.
Oh, good lord.
She'll give a
Oh.
low whistle. Wow, ain't that dangerous?
Indeed. And guess what? I think I know what that card might be. Now here's the thing. If you try to take it from me, I sure hope you have a very good plan in place. Because you will not get away with it.
Believe me, I'm quite happy with my life here. I don't need any drawings of cards from that artifact.
Well, it depends
Eh.
on which card it is. Some will just make you fabulously wealthy.
That is very, very true.
And some will just kill you dead.
Also true. As you expect, well, I suppose there are certainly uses for a card that could immediately kill the person who might be tricked into using it. I'm not entirely sure I want to go telling you until you've at least acquired a couple of pieces, you know.
If
You
That's
need to
I
give her a
that's
persuade.
fair.
if I guess it in one, would you tell me?
I might.
Insight.
Give
Nope.
you the
She'll
fucking
definitely
idea.
tell. She'll definitely tell me.
All right,
The
Mary,
sun.
how do you try and persuade her?
Come now, if you want us to do a job for you and risk the wrath of all three families, you ought to at least tell us what we're going in for. That card might be the only thing in the vault, after all.
That is unlikely. The rumors do include a fabulous amount of wealth, and alright, it is not one card but two.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
And which one are
If I
you
guess,
after? Since you said you were just wanting one.
I am after the sun.
I guessed it in one.
Of course. The other is terrifically dangerous. And you know
Ruin.
what? I am tempted to hand it off to one of you instead if you're willing to pay some cash for the gamble. Otherwise, I will hang on to it. It would be the Jester card. The Jester is a card that, considering it is locked inside its own case, will draw two more. I can guarantee already that the sun will not be one of them. I could not know what the others are.
That's
but
not
that
all
is
the
one
Jester
less
does, though.
good op. Oh, it's true. Would you like to become, I don't know, smarter, more competent? That is a use for it. Not one I
Yes.
especially need since I'll have fabulous wealth instead. And more power than a jester could ever hand over.
Yes, if you wish the sun, I can certainly think of some uses for the Jester's power.
hell. I take
Yeah.
the gamble.
Goodness me. Very well. You can certainly give up your cut at the vault for the jester card instead.
Hmm. Do as you will. I prefer the feel of shiny, clinky gold.
Do you now? And here I thought you were an infamous
Gambling and I
gambler.
have an interesting history.
Indeed. Come on, I picked this knowing that half of you guys are crippled by gambling problems.
Yeah, but there's a
Alright.
difference between gambling with money and just gambling with your life because he's a great gambler. He's just bad at math and logic.
Ahem. What's your first ideal? What's your only ideal?
Yeah, it's bravery, but that's for fighting.
Followed by the statement: if you want to succeed, you have to take risks. I feel like I played that out too. A gold per numpy.
Heck,
And oh, you mean an actual
Like
actual
levels and
level.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, probably.
I
Depends how
don't-
powerful you are. Fucking at your level, it's probably 3 levels.
Her Tachi just gained up to the rest of the party.
Yeah, Taji caught back up on her horrible deficit.
Wait, Jester isn't. Oh yeah, it is 10,000. I thought it was more
Yes,
than that.
10,000. Yep, Sun is 50k.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sun is 50k.
And a wondrous item.
And a wonder.
right.
Yeah. She wants the Sun because she wants to be fucking hooked up.
Yeah.
It's basically a free power level and a cool doohickey.
Yep.
And especially if she's not that much higher level than us, like 50,000 XP would be basically just gaining like 4 levels.
You can certainly do an insight to gauge how strong an individual is.
Finally, a mediocre roll.
Considering their CR sets the
rolled
DC 11 passes, she is an acolyte NPC stat.
Oh God!
Oh,
She wants to
So,
just
yeah,
go
that would be
directly
great for
from
her.
level 1 to 11. Just zoop.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do not pass go. She wants to power level up to serious celestial motherfucker because she is a little wimpy acolyte of a cult that's really only just gotten off the ground.
She wants to
Fair
eat energy.
enough.
She wants to eat an energy field bigger than her head and not explode.
Yes.
All right. I see no reasons to refuse out the gate.
I would
But-
certainly hope so.
As long as the gold's spendable, I'm in.
But mind you, if it becomes too much and we draw too much of those 3 families, it likely won't be completable.
No, I will expect you to hand over the plaques that you have collected. Obviously, I can't just leave them with you if you decide to give up, and you can leave with all the money that you would have otherwise been paid.
Of course.
Technically, it still counts as a quiet endeavor, as long as anyone who sees you is dead.
Let's
I
try not to
suppose-
butcher our way through the city. That's how you draw
In-
heat.
Indeed, I suspect that you might have a hard time of going unnoticed with the abilities of one of you, but I think I've certainly seen a couple of you or seen the records of your activities before, and I believe that you would be best suited as a group together. There are
What?
others I could go to, but I don't trust most of them.
Abilities of one of us? What? Dry Gold Slim? He can be very sneaky when he wants to be.
So I have read.
I struggle
Glad-
to believe you, but alright.
Indeed, seeing is believing, I assume. I have certainly not seen it.
I've certainly stood in astoundment.
Either way, I believe you may count me as in for this job.
Very
Yeah.
well then. So, would you like to pick a room? And who would like to roll me a d6?
Okay. Oh, go ahead. You're first.
Ooh,
yeah.
get a real nice one. Give me a hot second. Where is this going to be located?
I guess I should roll 1d5 then.
Huh? Oh no, the
No,
rest are being
we only get
destroyed.
one room. The rest are going to be
You
destroyed.
get
Oh.
one safe house. The rest are
Oh,
being
okay.
destroyed.
It's one safe house for the lot of us. Okay.
For the
For
group.
all
Yes.
of us,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I understood it as room for the night, but
No. This is a safe house for the duration of
No,
4
no.
jobs.
Yeah.
Nice.
night.
Oh, that's fantastic.
rolled good for one.
You guys are north of Grim Market.
Can we have
Ooh.
Garrett's safe house from Thief 2?
No, that would be in the clock tower.
That would be
No,
the
no,
clock tower. yeah.
no. Thief 2? No.
Oh no, yeah, Thief was the clock tower. What was Thief 2?
Thief 2 was he was in like the market district, and he was in a place right next to a brothel, and he had all sorts and when he got made, there was the classic twist, the candelabra.
Yes. Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, with the secret room. I played Thief 2 the most, so yeah.
I've barely played either of the Thief games, but I played a bunch of Dark Mod, which is just a mod of those.
The Cathedral one was later. Thief 2 was when he got run out of his home and spent the entire time skulking the city because the because the mechanist wouldn't leave him alone, and then his girlfriend got killed.
Oh,
What a shame we
fucking
didn't get the clock tower though. That would have been
The
great.
the Mechanist is my fucking favorite terrible voice actor.
It is the best terrible voice actor in the game. I love him so much.
I have only ever watched the Civi videos for the Thief games.
You should, if anyone listening and you, Garde, it's very cheap. Just get Thief 2: The Metal Age. It is a fantastic game. If you like stealth games, it is very, very fun and has multiple ways to do every job. Like I hope this game is. It's fantastic.
That was it. Karis.
Yep, Mechanist Karis. He talks like this.
Yeah, I recommend setting the audio to low. You can play this for 5 safe seconds and you'll hear the amazing voice acting of Karis. It is
It's
the best
great.
voice acting in the game. Treat the entire stream to it. It's glorious.
Fine.
Oh my god.
Fantastic.
Thief
2 was the best in the series.
And the woman of the woods. Did
Oh,
thou
God.
come here together?
Funny. Oh, Garrett! And he just rants at you the whole
Oh,
time. You're like
dear.
sneaking through his fucking facility.
Gross.
Or he just rants just randomly to his followers. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah,
It's
He
great.
sounds like an Austin Powers villain.
Yes.
So hopefully this is a safe house we get because Garrett's safe house is amazing in that game. It's pretty cool.
This is very silly. Okay, so Grim Market, where you are located. Grab you guys and go over to the hideout.
A street.
You have the full run of this building that you are in front of, and it is quite a nice one. Clink. Oop, there you go.
Oop.
And there are many beds in here.
Gonna write this chair.
Better be quick if you can find the best bed.
Oh, got it. You want?
You called dibs a moment and just barely in time on the nicest bed.
Aaron just fucking X sprawls. Claimed.
To dibs.
I see. It's fine. I can take a shitty bed.
Slim, you don't need to clamper on the table. Come on now.
Woman, if you
I'll
get in
make you a
this
drink.
bed, you're going
What
to
you
have to
feeling?
spoon with me.
I mean, if the offer's open.
Slim, you want a dark and stormy, or do you want a dirty martini?
I can think of worse things.
That doesn't tell me. This is like a cat. Give me a second. Hang on.
I gotta get a broom.
Fuck.
Here, I'll turn off your
Very well.
lighting walls since you shouldn't need them. At least, in fact, no, I should probably leave them on just in case because you might get attacked out here one day, and it would be important to have all that lighting.
As a gentleman, I am going to take out my cocktail kit. I'm going to make. I understand you, Slim. I'm gonna make you a Cheshire cat.
Comes down at the threat of cocktails.
The threat of? Did I hear that right?
Would seem you dead. Now then, the broker gave you the envelope with the key to this location, and Red, when you look it over, you can find that there is a tiny scuff in the little loop to the key of this place that indicates, yeah, it's a Thieves Guild safe house.
Because it's in character, Skow, how much would like a little cocktail suitcase cost me?
Probably like 3 copper.
Now I gotta break up gold.
It's so rich for this thing.
You know what? I'm just gonna use a whole GP to get good booze in there. That's fine. Makes it easier for me.
That's true. Yeah, it could just be a suitcase full of alcohol and the shaker. So you got the cocktail kit for like 3 copper, and then it's just like a fucking gold's worth of drink.
I didn't steal it from my grandma's cabinet.
Of course not. Now then, the broker goes over her various other goody gumdrops for you all. And says she hasn't seen the address to this place, so she won't know where to find you. When the time comes to hand over the plaques, one at a time as you please. I'll pay out per plaque, even if you wuss out before the end. I won't hold it against you, I suppose. Only that, again, if you get in my way, I'll have you all dealt with quite horribly. As you might guess, I'm throwing a lot of money into this endeavor, and I can throw a lot of money into getting all of that gold back.
Fair enough, but for how interesting this is, can we at least do the handoff somewhere auspicious?
Of course. I was going to say simply just here, but we can certainly pick another location and decide on a different one after the first has been made. Where would you prefer?
Is there somewhere worryingly cursed?
There are many places worryingly cursed
I'm
on the
asking
whole
you
strip.
out of character.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah, there are plenty of.
There's at least like
We live in
the
ones like
that
If you're
yeah.
wanting to,
I'm
like,
not going to have her come to my house.
There's that
the
one.
Bloody Hammer is cursed.
The place that I do nights as a grotesque is like a crystal tower that some adventurer walked into and then never came out.
Listen,
Yeah.
that just sounds like the place where we should hand off the last one.
For sure, for sure.
So, for it to be auspicious, we'll do what's it called? The Bloody Tavern. Is that the Bloody Hammer?
The Bloody Hammer, huh? Very well then. I will add that to my notes. First, hand off.
Estevan is going to
Bloody
slide Northie a Cheshire Cat cocktail. And you, my fell-hatted friend. A drink? Believe the girls are getting acquainted in the other room.
They have a girl talk, you know.
They're tired.
They're doing their makeup and they're being
She did.
they're
She
going to be
Best
best
friends.
friends.
Best
Estevan, yeah, Estevan did watch. I mean, he doesn't know what she is. He did just watch her just pound wine.
Sure.
Just
She
more
could just be
tweaker
wine
behavior.
sleepy. Yeah, just wine sleepy. It's fine. Ah, the strong silent type. I see. All right. You will get a dark and stormy.
oh, was that to me?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. He'd rather just have straight whiskey.
Ah, there are many other treatments for depression, my friend.
Have you tried it? Yeah. Over here we only mix gay whiskey and then pours a cocktail.
Fine,
Look, a
cocktail
mixer is
with
just a
whiskey
gay
in
whiskey.
it.
I'm sorry. If it's called straight when it's neat.
Yeah, I assume there's not an ice chest, so everything's going to have to be done ourselves.
A splash of water.
I don't. Do we even know that Amiré is a wizard?
No.
No.
She's
Yeah, so there we go. Can't ask for
Yeah.
Excellent,
can't ask
excellent
for a
operational
precedent.
security. So far,
Yeah.
you do not know that your companion is like a wizard. The only
Yeah,
person
can't-
who's really given away their abilities are you for stabbing things and the cryptid for being a cryptid.
Yeah, I can do magic. Totally. I don't say that, but
Okay, well, that just means everything gets a splash of water rather than ice.
Mm,
We'll have to go out to get some ice at some point.
Yeah. So. Yeah, fine
Ooh,
clothes, faded
ice
threadbare,
sword.
beautiful side sword, and just Yeah, she looks like, she used to duel for money to buy more meth.
Definitely
Listen,
not meth. Probably
No,
like.
hey, you don't have the jack. Well, no, you always hide your teeth. You must be meth.
Oh, you're right. You know what? Fair enough.
Ah,
look, it's fine. Me and the wife can fix her.
I can fix you.
and this is how you become an undead gambling addict.
Yeah, well, we've got other vices, like gambling. No,
I
it's
don't
just
even-
like for some reason Amiré doesn't leave Hollow at the end of this, and I have to do that like the living like a thread of fate has been severed.
Look, I'm
Oh,
I'm like
goodness.
the only ones here that isn't a gambler.
It's true. Goodness.
Feargus is also not a gambler, but how can you pass up the deck of many things?
Yeah, easily.
So you say. Oh yeah.
You're
Also,
normal.
this the hideout comes with a daytime version, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Grab this. See. It has to do the thing where it wants to I have to turn lighting on and off again because it's dumb. There we go.
Ah,
Blink.
What's that perk in Fallout where the guy comes in and helps you sometimes?
mysterious,
Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bow,
that's Ross.
Yeah. Look at that. The lighting is seamlessly placed so that I can slide between daytime and nighttime. You guys didn't even move. If you look outside, it's day.
Nice. It's daytime.
And I slide you back.
Eh?
Ooh, it's nighttime. Oh, goodness. So, your first location, I feel, is an important and useful one. I don't really want to jump into that in session 0, though, because
Yeah.
the whole process
Absolutely, yeah.
involves the planning phase and all of that. So, I think we're nearing the end of this. Apart from, would you guys like to invent people to put in the world? People that might fuck with you, people who you think might help you, anything like that. Create some external bonds to give a little bit more life to Holosha. And like I can say, I've put notable places on all of here. I could do an entirely separate document. It's just like people associated with you guys, people to make things more, I guess, attached. Because right now, none of you really have a particularly, I suppose, apart from Red, like, none of you have a particularly vested anchor in this place yet, and that could certainly be changed.
I have an idea.
I hadn't thought about it actually.
I have an idea too. You can start. You're first.
Hang on.
Make a little thing here. Bloop.
All right. So, I want to turn one of my flaws into a benefit for once.
Okay.
So, my third flaw?
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember the act, but one time when Northie was drunk, he leapt to the defense of a were-rat. Hang on, and I'll send you the. Actually, I'll just put it in VCT.
Sure. Sure. Ah, of course.
For at the time, the man known as Pierre Despero was just doing it because of innate flaw, you know. Was quite drunk at the time as well. That all right?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So, all right. One time when Northie was drunk, he left the defense of a were-rat and simply toddled on off because he heard the sound of dice being played in an alley. Unbeknownst to him, so you know, something good might happen.
Excellent. All right, that is your first associate. Who next?
I don't have an associate, more like an enemy.
Excellent.
Those are always fun too.
So Ross is homeless.
Yeah.
I can imagine a collection of nobles trying to clear the holisher of the homeless population, who he's crossed once or twice at least.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you crossed the HOA.
So the
I
guard,
crossed the HOA.
So the rich have
Alright.
paid the guards to like
Mhm.
hunt you down and beat you up.
All right, Ross is on the no-fly list.
I slept on the wrong benches.
Yeah. All of them.
Skow, can you snap us back to the town map?
Of course.
Given the nature of this game, I think having that in a
Yeah,
handout
the
would
HOA
be very
hates
useful.
Ross.
It is in the handout.
What?
It's in the
Is it?
Holisher handout at the top.
Oh.
Oh, we had to reopen.
Oh
it.
yeah, I had to reopen it. Okay.
Oh, yep,
I
yep.
had
There it
It's
to
is.
all in
refresh my page.
Ross is on the no-fly list of
Oh,
the
nice.
HOA. Guards from the Bright Lamp District. In particular. No. His face. Alright, that isn't enemies. Excellent. Alright. Who next? Anyone got something spicy?
I could maybe I don't know if this would actually go under associates, but it'd be funny if somebody in some fashion of power position, even a small one, has been coming out to vent discomfort with like maybe unscrupulous activities or even scrupulous but wrong feeling activities at Feargus while he is disguised as a grotesque.
Ah, I see. Alright.
Just kind
I
of
will mark it
confiding in
as
statue.
blackmail. Feargus, in the guise of a grotesque, has heard the ventings of a frustrated acolyte.
Ooh, can tie in my thing with my third flaw and my second personality trait.
Yep.
Has someone super drunkenly pissed on Fergus?
Maybe at least once. Who knows?
Uh
That guy's penis is an innie now, so it's fine.
oh. It's like those street performers that pretend to be statues and then spook
Yeah.
people.
I
Oh,
just
I
imagine
got.
someone being like high as a kite, and then they're like, "Wow, look at that fucking funny-looking face. Why don't I look at your funny-looking face?" It's just fucking perishes. Kills her
I
dead
got
on
it.
the spot. Yeah.
I got a good one for you, Scout.
Alrighty.
There is a low-level guard that almost caught me once, very much during the like very, very early years of my career, and he still hunts after me to this day.
Ooh.
You got
Low
your own
level.
Javert.
Yeah.
Amazing.
From the old days, has been laterally climbing the ranks.
I think
Gradually climbing ranks.
for Amiré.
Never given up chase.
So she got that free room at the Scarlet Tanker for doing something. Maybe.
Yes.
It was, some crooks low-level goons were trying to shake down the place, get some protection money. And Amiré volunteered to, make them go away, which she did by turning them into raisins.
Of course.
So whoever hired them probably not too happy about that.
All right, I'm gonna randomize up a gang. Let's see here.
Just absolutely brutalized these people. They were difficult to identify. She can't just...
Oh my god, some of these names are fucking terrible.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, this one should be interesting. All right, the Homeless Royals gang.
Oh, good.
The homeless royal.
Ooh.
I'm in the perfect
Ooh.
position for that.
Yeah.
All Ross's
I was about to
buddies.
suggest Ross is probably familiar with the other homeless people.
Are you a member of the homeless royals?
I might just be.
Excellent. Then yeah, you absolutely heard about like 3 of your friends going down a dark alley at some point, and their bodies were just sprayed all over the place. Like a monster
wow.
tore into them.
1-6 hand grenaded a group of gangsters from the Homeless Royals. Gangsters have been shaking down the stays in. Now they stay away, but they always watch the alleys at night.
They say it's the 3 families that run the city, but truly, it's the homeless royals.
For the Homeless Royal, I mean, they're probably like a whole ton of gangs. If you guys want to invent fucking gangs, that also works.
And put Garde's naming abilities to use.
The Flaggleflugels.
The Jack Scrambles.
That's the
Alright. Anyone else got enemies or associates? Or things that you know,
gotta
yeah,
think,
blackmail also qualifies.
I'm gonna write up a bond because I got
Yeah, sure. You remember the Homeless Royals. Associates. Ross is a member of the Homeless Royals. HOAs fucking hate this guy.
I mean, my associate's still like already on my bond list, but I guess I can add him in here. My old mentor Crowbar taught me everything I knew about the business.
Sure. What does Crowbar do anything that keeps them relevant to Hollow-Ship, which is totally fair if they do.
Well, they're my fixer, so they're the
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Crowbar taught Red everything she knows. Was once an affluent thief, and to this day is a high-profile fixer. Connection to the Thieves Guild.
I think Crowbar is the best name for a thief.
That's a really solid name for a thief, yeah.
The crow nickname's pretty good. Oh, I've got I've got an associate too. Could do like occasionally on like maybe a once a month thing. Feargus meets up with a blind gossip and talks to her in a non-crypted voice about happenings and goings on.
All right. I'm going to keep the blind person's identity a secret. There's probably more to them than you know.
There we go. Got that bond written down.
She has exceptionally good intel. There's probably more to this blind lady than he knows.
probably rewrite that to be a little more coherent, but
Who?
I
Where
got it
went?
written down. A bond on my character sheet.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look here.
Something I don't want to give away immediately.
Sure. That is perfectly fine. There are probably plenty of people like that. Alright. That is a good set of things that I can work with. It's certainly enough that I can utilize over the course of a short shot. The general idea for this game is to run the short shot of your 3, functionally your heists, and then 1 more full contact smash and grab into the mystery vault that will utilize your skill monkey stuff, but also you try and utilize it more aggressively, just to get a bit of combat in there. A bit of intentional combat, I should say. Like, it's likely that you'll get into scuffles over the course of these other 3 things, but, like, the 4th job would probably be the one where you know you're going into getting a fucking fight.
Yeah.
That is also at the point at which you'll be the highest level as well, so you'll be more prepared for it, presumably.
I'm about as prepared as I get for a fight, really, to be honest.
I mean,
I mean,
3 levels will probably be a lot more preparation for you, I'm sure.
Not really as a fighter.
Yeah, you just
alright.
get more hit points, really.
More hit points, more good.
Yeah, let's see here. So let's see, 6, 7, 8. Subclass, weapon expert, feat. I'd get another feat, I guess.
Hey, that's feats are just
Yeah.
cantrips for fighters. Yeah, that's great for you.
Okay, let's see, what does Psi-Knight get for the next thing?
Your dice value goes up.
My
on your side
dice,
stuff, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, no, it's already at the highest that'll be for the short shot.
Ah,
It went up at 5th level. I will get a flying speed that I can do like every once in a while.
neat.
Oh yeah, I get the ability to become so angry when I rage that I can climb upside down on ceilings without making a check.
You get so angry that you start turning into people's like heroin cold sweats, baby.
I get yeah.
I'm so fucking
Oh,
mad. I just
God.
yeah. Up
God,
the wall.
that scene was terrifying. In that
Ugh,
movie.
you just train spotter the shit out of them.
My level 7 feature is wisdom save proficiency.
Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty good.
at the very
Climb.
least, 7 will be evasion for me.
Yeah, spicy.
Climbing upside down, my head spins around 180
Yep.
degrees.
Yep. Yeah.
So I probably is actually a really cool trick now that I look at it. That's really neat, just be able to just like jump from one building across to, like another.
Psi-Knight's the Jedi Knight. That's their force leap.
Yeah.
Do you like, and then you have
yeah,
your
I get a
skill, your
climb
skill,
speed
you're
next month.
throwing dice on persuade checks, your hand wave. I was
No,
never
I don't
here.
have any of that.
Do you not get the dice roll?
No. I don't
No.
get any dice roll.
Oh
like
no,
that.
you only get them on your attacks and thingies.
Yeah, I get to do
Damage
protective
resist.
field. I get to like draw stuff with me, like almost like a mage hand that doesn't have like a weight limit.
Right.
I
That
also
was
get
it. Yeah. You're force pull and force leap.
I get 1 more rage per
Ooh, I'm excited for that
rest.
climb speed at 6th level for Ranger.
Yep.
Building, climb the buildings.
Exactly.
And at 7th, oh, I get the advantage on initiative and dex saves.
Oh yeah, I already have a climb speed, by the way. I took athlete as a feat.
Sounds
Nice.
good. It's a
That's
good
nice.
feat. I like the kip up part of it, just where you.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty nice. It's a good little
It
thing.
is more
Instead of
like
half my
more
movement, just 5
useful than
foot.
you'd
Yep,
think.
just a smooth 5 feet.
Ends up.
Yeah. Okay. Things are plenty filled out. You now have a place in common to stay in, and number of individuals. If for whatever reason, like it's just, I mean, there's, as you can see, like so many fucking districts in this place. There's a lot of space for this game to just keep running post short shot. And if it looks like the classes are still not all the way there in the state that I want them at the very least for beginning a full-length deserts campaign, I'm happy to keep running this as well afterwards. And I say, the 4 jobs are the short shot, but there's plenty of space to keep going with this game.
Okay.
Sure.
Could very easily go until they release the OneD&D playbook. I mean 5.5. I mean whatever they call it playbook.
New PH
Rev-
playtest.
Revised Player's Handbook for 5th edition or something like that.
Yeah. There's plenty of things that it could and will eventually be, I'm sure. It'll depend on whether me and Savin write an errata for it before or after. Because that's probably how that ends up going.
Yep.
But yeah. I think that's session 0 all wrapped up. You have the space you would like to interact with each other in the safe house or in a tavern or whatever it is that your characters will get up to before you begin your first job, which will be
Nice.
given to you next week in session 1.
Sounds good.
So
Ironically,
there
the
wasn't
6:30.
much to this, but I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Ironically, the 6:30
Yeah.
time will actually work really
plenty,
well for me next
honestly.
week.
Yeah, I love having like session zeros like this
Yeah, just a little bit of
just
the
like
intro action.
setting. Yeah.
And some world building. I don't want to do all the work. I would like you guys to have vested interests in people that you create and put into it, which is always helpful
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
shorter range things. And this is how I would set up a Fate game, and considering this is meant to play out like a Fate game, then that should go.
So next week I'll probably be late by like half an hour ish,
Okay.
because that's like the first day of a county fair.
Right. Be sure to eat lots of weird food.
I don't have time to do that. I kind of get chained to my booth and I stay there all day.
Pay a small child to bring you things.
I'm
You
good.
there, boy, fetch me weird fair food. I can't leave while people are punching the box.
Well, no, the punching bag leaves it by itself. I run the mechanical bull.
Of course. Oh, right,
Ooh.
yeah. You need to make sure people don't, like, fucking die.
Alright. I've changed my
Yeah.
name for next week. I'm ready to go.
Alright.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'll
Oh,
tell
that's
Ghost.
powerful.
Oh no, what's your new name here? That'll be it.
I like it.
Victor Grunt.
Formerly captain.
Ah, I see.
Formerly captain.
That's strong.
Amazing.
all right. Well, if you're watching on the stream at YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for Savin'. Until then, adios and do take care.